we're gonna install these Footwell lights. Check these out. If you haven't seen the previous video, go check it out where we removed all of this center console area. It's literally just clipped in and you're gonna pull it out. You might need some pry tools, but it's really simple. It can't really break anything. I'll also show you how to wire in this module. I'll have that in the description below. Without further ado, let's get to the Footwell lights. In the bag, you're going to get your Footwell lights. First off is the wiring harness. This is going to connect all the lights to the control module right there. You're also going to get a few tools, and these are going to help you pop out and unscrew any screws that are in the front up there so that we can get these in. There's 2 for the front and 2 for under these seats right here. So you're going to light everything up. You're also given some zip ties to keep things nice and tidy. With that all out of the way, let's get to it. We're in the driver's side Footwell. You can see that there's these clips. There's one right here, for example. There's another one back here. So if you look under here, only this part comes off. Nothing on the right side. There is a bolt over there. You actually don't need to remove this screw. You can leave it in. From there, we're gonna want to unplug this light back here after pulling this down. After you unscrew the screws and pull out the little pop rivets, you'll have this part right here and this part right here that just clips into the top. You're gonna want to simply pull it down and this will be released. We're gonna want to now release this. There's a tab back here. You're gonna want to push it down and pull it out. It's pretty simple. So the tab looks like this. You're gonna press it down from the back. You can see how it depresses it, and then you can just pull it out. To remove this, there's this clip on top that holds it into place. It's pretty simple. All you're gonna do is just pull it back and pull this out. This is the light that we're going to need to replace now. There's these 4 tabs. Use your thumb, push it on one side, and then keep applying pressure, and then use your screwdriver to continuously push it down and in, and then it should pop past here. And this is your OEM Footwell light. You're going to feed this through. Make sure you have it on the correct way so it goes back in like this. And you're gonna want to feed the wire through towards the inside of the car. Push it in from this side first, and then on the back side, use your fingers right here to just click it in. Now coming to the back, you want to move your seat all the way forward to give you plenty of room. You're going to want to find the one that says Footwell light. This is going to go into the control module, and it's easiest to snake this up from the bottom instead of having to snake all of these lights. So from the bottom, you're going to want to kind of pull this out. There's also 2 screws underneath here. They're torque bits. If you find it easier, you can remove them because it allows you to pull the plastic a little bit towards you. We're able to pull this out and get it up here like this. This is great doing this pretty early on, as you can now test the lights to make sure they're all good and start plugging them in individually. Now is where we're going to want to find one that says front row, and this one is going to snake along to the side right here. That'll be step 1, getting it along here. And it's important that you move the front seat forward because the carpet splits right here and right here. So you'll take one of the front row wires, make sure it is untangled. There's gonna be a little cutout in the carpet right here. What you're gonna want to do is fish this through here. Once you put it in through there, it's gonna come out of this vent right here. This is where the carpet separates. The wires are gonna come out from underneath here. This makes it pretty simple because this is a pretty big gap. Push the LED head underneath here, and then you're gonna have to pull this carpet up and really just push it in and make sure it comes out straight. If you have some fishing wire, really thin fishing wire, you could attach it to that and push it in. Have it, look at that. So after a lot of patience, pulled it out from underneath the carpet. You're gonna wanna take this carpeting, pull it out. There's this little channel underneath the seat. Once you pull back the carpeting, there's a big gap right here that I'm gonna pass this through because on the other side, there is a slit for the carpet, and you can just push this. You can see it comes out on this side like that. We're going to take this, it comes out from here, and you can pull it through if you have enough slack. It's important that you're not tugging on the wire. Make sure you have a good amount of slack. Move your seat forward as much as possible, and from here you could tuck it underneath this carpet and then have it run underneath here. So once you tuck it under, push it underneath this panel. Once you push it underneath this panel, you can run it all the way along up to here. You don't want to start tucking it in until you make sure you have the correct length. So I'm going to pull this out for now, and I'm going to pull it all the way through so that I know how much that I need. Now that we have enough of this, you can plug it into here. Let's just make sure before we put all this together that it lights up. So coming all the way back to the control unit right here, you're going to want to just test this by plugging in the Footwell section. Once it's plugged in, you should see it light up like this. Now we're gonna start putting it back. It helps if you move your seat back a little bit, and from here, pay attention to the clips. You don't need to worry about this because you are not gonna use it anymore. This was just the OEM Footwell lighting that you can just tuck back there. This Ethernet cable is pretty important. You're gonna wanna make sure it goes back where it belongs. So that just slots into place. So I unplugged it because I wanna wire it better. To do so, take this slack, push it along the side here, but up more. So push it all the way up through here. You can give it tons of slack. Put it in, have it go over here. So right in front of this gap. Make sure it is aligned, and you can just slide it back in. So it's clipped back in completely. There is still slack here, and all you need to do is tuck it behind here. And you'll tuck it all the way underneath behind this panel. As you can see, there's no wire, just a bunch of leaves along here. There's a little bit of wire, but we can remedy that by tucking it into here. Boom. Completely gone. You can't even tell. It's right behind the carpeting. If you move the seat forward and go to the back, carpeting is still here, but let's not put it back yet because we want to do the lighting back here. Underneath here, it's not going to show up very well in camera, but there's a little bit of metal frame. What you're going to want to do is take one of these guys and put it between the frame. If you want to, you can use these zip ties to hold it steady, but the frame against the cushion is enough pressure to hold the light in place, no problem. Once it's in, find one that says back row. Now this is dangling right here. I've put it in, it sits in there. We're gonna have to take this and put it underneath here with this wire so it can come out through here. What do you think? I just need to get this in here. Oh, okay. Angle it and then push it in. Try to pull up the carpet as much as you can so you can get as much in there as possible. And then once it's in there, it will come a little bit easier, and it's finally come out. That took a very long time. So after a lot of patience, we finally got it through and connect it to make sure everything is all good. Boom, all good. Pull it through as much as possible. Make sure you have a little bit of slack here. The most important is that you have slack here. Your seat moves, so you want to make sure tuck this under that carpeting so that you have enough slack for the seat to move forwards and backwards. Tuck all this back here. We can now put the carpeting back. Looks good. I'm just going to pull this out a little bit. You're really not going to notice it. And I'm going to finish tucking the carpet just like that. So I've left a lot of slack for the seat to move forwards and backwards, and this won't cause any issues here. If any of these came unclipped, just push it back in, and you're pretty much done for this side. We're going to repeat it on the next side as well.
Under the glove box in the passenger side footwell, you're going to come up to something that looks like this without this LED strip. See, I tried to do this myself. Buying it from tialoyelf is so much better because it's like, what is this? It's a whole strip running across, and it doesn't even stick because of the plastic. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. There's going to be 4 pins, 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. They look like this. You're just going to want to pop all of them out. And after popping all of them out, you're going to get the pins that look like this, still clipped in up here. So what you're going to want to do is pull down to remove it from those clips, and this one up here. Once that's done, all you're pretty much going to do is pull towards you and pull down and out. So remember, this is my LED strip. I'm going to get rid of that in a second, but this is what it should look like. Now be careful because there is a wire connecting to this speaker right here, and there's this one connecting to this LED, the footwell light, that we are going to want to remove. Remove this one the same way by pushing down on this little plastic tab at the end and then pulling straight out. And then we're going to remove this the same way, where we have to press in these little side parts and then push this down to get it through here. So I figured out a secret to kind of get this out. Pretty simple, or it makes it a little bit easier, is when you take your pry tool and because you know how these sit above this plastic line, the little tabs here, push them down individually while also using your thumb to press down. It'll create a little bit of a space between the plastic part that's sticking out and the black plastic right here. And what you can do is shove another pry tool or your pry tool in on the bottom, just kind of angle it, and it will pop this out. So that's how I got this one out. And now we are going to take our LED light, the replacement for that, and put it in here. After you fish that wire through and that clip on one side, what you can do is push it more and then pop the left one into place. And now you have your light sitting right here. It'll look like this. And now what we need to do is run the connecting cable to here.
And that way we can install it back here.
Now, I did a few things to help you see a little bit better. First off, I removed this and I removed this. This is the middle panel that would go and cover right here. The only thing holding it in are these clips, so you're just going to want to pull it down kind of away from the center. For this one, it's being held in by this cable right here. After you pull it off, all you need to do, because it rests right here, is pull the little tab on this that's securing it and then pull it back, and you can separate it from there. That way you have all of this open and free. I also took out my floor mat. That helps to see. Move this front seat forward. And unlike the other side, there's not a lot of room in the carpet to shove these under. So another way that we're going to do this instead is putting it underneath the rails. If you can't get a lot of room back here, go a little bit more forward, and near where the air vent is, you'll have a lot of room. From there, you can actually just tuck this wire underneath the carpet, starting kind of from here. Make sure you leave some slack over here in case you ever need to service it or anything. You can also tuck it underneath this plastic panel right here. So I've tucked it underneath the carpet all the way out here, and then it's coming out on the other side of the railing right there. Should look something like this. From here, we're going to continue to tuck it underneath this carpet and then run it along here. To get a more realistic representation of the length that we have, I've plugged this into this LED light. I've also hidden away that extra cable because we don't need it. I'm going to plug the speaker one back into the speaker, and then we are going to shove this up in to here, and then we can use these clips to clip it back together. Where is this wire gonna go? Well, there is a little bit of gap between here and the actual back part right here, and we're gonna use that gap to slide our cable underneath this panel and then all the way underneath this panel to back here, which we can go underneath this bit of carpet right here. You can see the light is in now, and with this excess cabling, remember I'm removing this LED strip. Don't need it anymore because this is so much better, because look, there's no strips. All you do is tuck it behind here. For a more true perfect fit, you can pop off this panel a little bit. It's no big deal. If you want to pop it off completely, all you need to do is remove this weather stripping first and then pull this up. I've done that so that this wire can really tuck behind here. And once that's done, just press it down and you see absolutely nothing except my mess. Don't worry about that. And now we just need to do the back row the same way as we did the other side. So I did end up zip tying that one because it just kept falling loose. Do the same thing to this side. This is the metal that I was talking about, that you kind of put it in between right here, and then you could zip tie it to the metal. That's how we get the slide in here. Once you do that, then you're done with your Footwell ambient lighting. So I hope this video helps. If you have any question, please leave comments below. If you want to get your own with a discount link, check out the description below. And if you want to know more about these, the ambient lighting up there, down here, or in here, check out the links in the description. Get the whole package.